Welcome back. In our previous lesson, we have used kubectl to create, update, and manage individual Kubernetes objects like deployment and pods. But as you build real-world application, you will find that they are rarely just a single object. A typical application might consist of a deployment, service to expose, a config map for its setting, and secret for its credential. How do we manage all this related YAML file in a consistent and repeatable way? The answer lies in embracing a declarative approach. Instead of telling Kubernetes how to do something with a series of imperative commands, we will write a manifest file that declares the desired state we want to achieve. We then tell Kubernetes, here is my manifest. Make the cluster look like this. This is the foundation of modern infrastructure management and GitOps. You commit this manifest into a version control repository like Git, giving you a full audit trail of every change to your application state. Today, we'll master the cornerstone of declarative management, the kubectl apply command. Let's switch to the terminal. So we have two ways to organize our YAML manifest, either putting all in the same file or spreading the manifest into different files. I already created an app directory so we can see the result of 3 commands on my app directory. Let me execute the 3. So here is the command. You can see we have 3 files, cm.yaml, deploy.yaml, and svc.yaml. All the files are abbreviation for the existing Kubernetes object. Cm is stand for ConfigMap, deploy is stand for deployment, and svc is for services. I separated the YAML file definition into different files, but they can be all combined into the single file, which I will name it all.yaml. So I'll create another file name like all.yaml and put all of the YAML definition. If I have it here, let me show. Yeah, I already have that one. So I'll remove this file first. And then I'll create the file all.yaml. So this is the same thing as or separating the file, but the main advantage of keeping the file in the same file can be like giving this single deployment file to users, or if you want to create an application and saying that, yeah, please use this to install it in your cluster. But this makes it a bit difficult to track the changes. So if somebody changed the lines, you don't know, was it about something related to the services or deployment, although the Git track the lines and changes, but still it's better to separate them into the different file for future, let's say, history of change. So the kubectl apply command is your primary tool for declarative object management. It's incredibly versatile and operate on a single file, an entire directory of file, or even a URL. So let's start with the most basic case, creating object from a single file. As I showed you before, we have deploy.yaml in here in this directory. So I'm using kubectl apply-f or create-f, depends on your need, but apply is going to apply this deployment. So as you can see, deployment app created. So if I get the deploy, you can see that the Nginx is not ready, but it's deployed. So simple enough. But what if you need to deploy a full application stack, like one on our application app directory, instead of applying each file individually? You can just point apply at a directory level. So let me, instead of pointing to the single deployment or single YAML object, deploy the whole thing. As you can see, ConfigMap services created and Nginx app configured. So kubectl read every manifest in that directory and create all necessary objects. So you can even tell to work recursively through a directory tree with -r flag. So if you're using the -r flag with apply, you can recursively go through the directory and look for YAML file. But let's remove the app directory and now deploy delete -f app. So this will delete all the objects. And then let's create the all YAML file instead of using the directory. Let's say kapply-f all.yaml file that we created. So as you can see, it's the same as the app directory one. It's also create the objects like ConfigMap, deployment, and services. The only difference is organization. So please choose whatever is work best for you. So how apply works, updates and magic annotation. Now what happens if we run that command again? Or what if we change a file and reapply it? This is where the magic of apply comes in. Unlike kubectl create, which would fail if the objects already exist, apply will interchangeably figure out what changed and only update the live object to match your manifest. Let me show you. So we used let's delete the apply. Let's delete the all. Okay, delete -f all.yaml. And let's apply -f app.yaml. Okay, now we should have the deployment, we should have the file and everything here, nginx. Okay, the next thing is that I'm going to, instead of using apply, I'm going to use create. As you can see, error happened when we try to create a config map that already exists. This is the limitation of create, because create is only meant for create, but for changing the file, imagine that we want to adding a, let's say, changing the replica size or adding new label. Let's modify our deploy YAML and changing the number of replica and adding a label to our YAML. Let's go to app deploy YAML, and here on the label side I'm going to add like team blue, and for okay, yes, this is enough. So we added this team blue, and then let's apply this change. As you can see, nginx is configured. So if we get the deployment app nginx and check the YAML definition, we can see that the label changed from like just only app nginx to app nginx and team blue. So how does it do this? When you first apply a manifest, kubectl adds a special annotation to the object called kubectl Kubernetes last applied configuration, as you can see here. It stores a copy of your manifest right on the object. Now next time when you run apply, it's compare your new manifest to the one stored in an annotation to calculate the changes. So finally, to clean up, the recommended approach is to use kubectl delete with the same flag -f. This tells Kubernetes to delete the exact object defined in that manifest. So as I shown you before, I'm going to use delete and then delete -f the app, and then it will delete all the manifestation that we had in directory. Thank you for watching this topic. On the next topic, we are going to talk about advanced manifest tooling, customize.